The following program is a Town of Colonie television production of the William K. Sanford Town Library.
Hello, I'm Colonie Town Judge Peter Crummey, and welcome to Benchmark. We'll explore a variety of issues involving our judicial system, our legal system, and how they intersect with the citizens of the town of Colonie. Today, we are truly fortunate to have as our guest Christina Ryba. Christina serves as Special Projects Counsel to our 3rd Department Presiding Justice, Karen Peters. And welcome, Christina, and thank you very much for being here. And what I have found out, of course, this is home to you anyway, as in graduating from Colonie High School.
That's correct.
And pursuing your studies there and beyond, living here in the town of Colonie and using this town library as one of your resources as well. And we're so pleased that you're here today with us. Certainly this half-hour time does not give us ample opportunity to discuss the variety of involvement that you have in our legal system throughout the Capital Region. You and I have the good fortune of working together with the Albany County Bar Association, and you currently serve as secretary to our organization there. But you're also involved with Albany Law School.
That's correct.
Sitting on the board of trustees of Albany Law School, and with a variety of other involvements with our New York State Bar Association as well. So hopefully we'll be able to explore some of those things as well. Tell me a little bit about your experience at Colonie High School.
Okay, well, Colonie was a great school to go to. I was involved with the orchestra. I was involved with Students Against Drunk Driving. I was on the tennis team senior year. I was a cheerleader freshman year. I was really involved with academics. I was on the honor roll. I graduated with honors, and I was a member of the Students' Honor Roll or Honor Society. I can't remember what it was called. So it was great. You know, I grew up in Colonie, and it was nice to be in a community where everybody was friendly. And you know, I really have some friends that I graduated with that we still remain close. One was in my wedding. I was in her wedding. So Colonie's great. I have some great memories.
Well, I know that the high school is very proud that you're a graduate of the high school, and our entire town is so pleased with all of the things that you continue to do and get involved with. And tell me about being Special Projects Counsel to Judge Peters. In general, what you get involved with as you serve in that capacity.
Sure. Before I begin, I just want to make sure it's clear that my opinions today are my own and not based on my current position as Special Projects Counsel, but just kind of a glimpse of what I do. I'm responsible for facilitating and coordinating various special projects, which include the CLE that we just had at the law school, which was everything you need to know about becoming a judge. In addition, we just worked closely with several local organizations in creating the Family Court Help Center. I also review decisions written by permanent staff and review them for accuracy, apply the law, look at the facts, and talk to Judge Peters about whether or not we need to work on revisions or rewrite it. I also work on anything that, you know, she puts on my desk. So what I really appreciate about the job is the fact that I'm working so closely with one of my role models and mentors, and I hope to one day become a judge. So the fact that she selected me as her special counsel was a great opportunity.
Well, it's also certainly been to the benefit of the Albany County Bar Association, because you've brought up a couple of issues that I can tell you were really the integral part and the organizer underneath the projects, including that recent continuing legal education program that was held at Albany Law School just weeks ago on everything you need to know about becoming a judge. And I have commented being there as well and observing and being involved in moderating that I have never seen a more riveted audience in connection with the programming. And I know that you work very hard at assembling the programming and making sure that it it was relevant, and I can tell you I've never seen a more excited and riveted audience in a continuing legal education program. It was very well done.
It was really exciting to see the end result, especially looking at the beginning when we were coming together with the county bar and the women's bar. Judge Peters, the Franklin Williams Commission was instrumental in helping us plan the CLE. Just getting the panelists together, the moderators, and looking at the topics. We were lucky to be able to look at the program that the Franklin Williams Commission had done in Rochester and in Buffalo. So we had a template, but it was a little bit different because where we had our program at Albany Law School, we needed to make sure that locally, we had the people who would make sense to be on the panel. So reaching out to different people and having the planning committee assist was instrumental in having it come together. And of course, Judge Peters, her ability to just bring everyone together and to keep people on task was important. And then the end result was, as you said, wonderful to see so much energy in the room. As you know, as attorneys, we have to get 24 CLE credits every 2 years, and sometimes you go to the CLE and it's hard to stay awake. This was like watching a movie. I mean, there was a lot of energy, and the topic, I think, was really important, and it was nice that there were so many different panels. So you could learn a little bit about election law, you could learn about town court, court of claims. It was just across the board, and I think it was the first CLE of its kind locally, and I think the feedback has been really good.
Yeah, what do you think the takeaway was for the standing room only crowd? And what did you hope that they would take away from the CLE? The mechanics of becoming a judge?
Yes, and I think demystifying the process.
Right.
I think a lot of people who are new to the area or who have a goal of becoming a judge see someone in a black robe and think, how do I get there? Oh, it must be so difficult. And I think having the panel broken up into tangible points that people could look at and say, okay, this is the ethics part. This is what I need to do when I run for judge. And then there was the part about, getting out there, becoming a part of politics, helping out on a campaign. I thought that was really important for the audience to hear. If you want to learn, then perhaps you should volunteer on a campaign and then learn what the ins and outs are of running for judge. And then having people like John Regan, the governor's counsel, on the panel, and then staying afterwards to talk to students and lawyers and practitioners about the court of claims process. So it was really just an open forum, and it just allowed people to all have an even playing field and having questions answered honestly. I really felt that the panelists didn't hold back, and they gave their honest opinions about what was going on, and I think that was really enlightening and refreshing, actually.
Well, there's no question it was an electrified audience in that way, and I certainly enjoyed participating in it as a moderator. But underneath it all, and some of the other activities that we've taken with the Albany County Bar Association, even just this year alone, Judge Peters has been an integral part of everything. She's really quite an engine for advancing knowledge and industry and the practice of law. And we have co-sponsored a variety of events together in connection with her office, the county bar office, and that CLE was certainly one of them. But we've done other things with Judge Peters right there working with us. In fact, the Family Court Help Center that we opened in early May this year was an extension of an initiative of the Albany County Bar Association 10 or 12 years ago called a help desk, where people could come in who had questions about how to start into a family court procedure, and we could and we provided some forms for them and gave them some direction with how they could pursue what they eventually wanted to pursue. We were doing it in conjunction with Albany Law School and shepherding students from Albany Law School. And then Judge Peters came in with Judge Fisher and looked at our model in upstate and said, we love your incubator. Could we help be part of advancing it from a help desk to a help center? Of course, I was very proud from the Albany County Bar Association that we were chosen as the one that had already sowed the seed of this type of help center. And then Judge Peters got involved and had you get involved in helping us design this and taking it from a desk in January to a center. And tell me how you see that help center actually working to benefit the citizens of the County of Albany.
Well, I agree with you. I think it's fantastic that we were able to grow the help desk into the help center. And the most important thing about the center is that there's attorneys now volunteering at the center and not just students. Now the students are valuable and really helpful in assisting with certain questions, but growing the center allows the individuals who need assistance to get some legal advice, not just legal questions answered with regard to what is a petition or legal, they can actually dive into it a little bit more. So I really feel that the population that might be underserved now have an opportunity to go in there, get help from an attorney. And the nice thing about this the help center is that we're working with the County Bar, Albany Law School, Legal Aid Society of Northeastern New York, the Appellate Division, New York State Courts Access to Justice Program. So we have all of these groups coming together for the same purpose, which is to help people. And it's organized so that way attorneys can volunteer 2-hour slots of time. So I know it's difficult. I've been in private practice before, taking on a new client from the beginning to going to the courtroom at the end is difficult, especially if you have a really intense caseload. But 2 hours on a Friday, it's not significant, but you're giving back, and it makes a difference in the lives of people who really need assistance. So I'm proud of it. I'm so glad we were able to come together and work together in the Capital Region to bring the center to fruition.
Well, you recognized a large piece of it, that community partners came together for all the same reason of servicing those in need, which has been a hallmark of the county bar for a number of years, and certainly remains the hallmark of Judge Peters as well. And it's worked out very well, and it does provide attorneys an opportunity to provide assistance to those in need right downtown in the Albany County Family Court, which like the Colonie Justice Courts, the case volume increases geometrically, and there are certain courts that just continue to grow in servicing the needs of citizens, and certainly Family Court is one such place as well. And that kind of need that we're trying to fill is certainly meritorious, and we're very lucky. You spent a lot of time this spring trying to bring that all together. What I have found with your work is that typically people gravitate to your style, and when you're trying to bring community partners together, just like an active board, it takes its skill and passion and capacity to do that, to get people to come together. Because we often find in society that people just won't come together on certain issues, and then nothing can get done. We hear about it sometimes in legislative processes, that people aren't working together. And the Albany County Bar Association, Judge Peters, Christina Ryba, all show that working together gets things done, and for the benefit of everybody. And I thank you. I knew that you did a lot of hard work on that, in developing that. And that was a proud moment for the county bar as well, to be able to be there on that May Tuesday and open that center. And I know it's a vibrant place today.
It is.
When I'm down there for other business, I always stop in and see what's happening in there. And it's going all the time, and I think it's been well received.
It has been. I've heard great things about it, and attorneys are volunteering every day down at the help center. So it's great.
Well, it certainly is, and your involvement in certainly and working in a variety of places. You mentioned that you were in private practice at one point. You were with the firm of Nixon Peabody, is that right?
That's correct.
And you served there. But also, after Albany Law School, when you graduated, you started to, one of your first positions was interning in the Corporation Counsel in the city of Albany.
That's right.
Which reminded me how I started. One of my first position was interning in the Colonie Town Attorney's Office. And tell me about your experience in City Hall at that point.
Oh, it was great, because I started at the summer after my first year of law school as an intern. I was doing legal research, working closely with the assistant corp counsels at the time. And then at the end of the summer, I requested to stay on part-time, and I was approved. And soon thereafter, the Corp Counsel signed a practice order, or had a practice order submitted to the Appellate Division. It was approved, so I was able to represent officers in traffic court. So I was in there doing mini trials, which was, to me, the most exciting thing to actually have a client. So that was awesome.
Yeah, practice orders. Neat.
Yes, that was cool. I did some vicious dog trials, which was also interesting. And it really opened the door because I was able to research so many different areas of the law. I really do think that corp counsel is like working in a general practice law firm. So you're looking at, issues of trip and fall, you're looking at contracts, just across the board. So it was a really good beginning. And after I graduated, I was offered a position as an assistant corp counsel, which I accepted, and that's where my legal career began.
Well, I think it's a fascinating place to start, and the town attorney's office is the companion to a corporation counsel in a city, and you get to represent all of the departments, and you get to see a lot of different things. It was a great place to be and to continue to learn. I've never left the town in one way or another in that way, and I'm very fortunate about that.
That's great.
But it's all started in the town's version of a corporation counsel. And so it's a great exposure. Municipal law is very interesting too, and it's relevant to us because it is our neighborhood.
That's right.
And that's what's going on, and it certainly keeps you right on the sidewalk because you're dealing with issues that are happening right in the neighborhoods all the time. So that's a neat experience too. Eventually from there, though, you stayed involved in city government, but possibly becoming a deputy a director of a department at some point, right? That's
right. I went over to the Community Development Agency as general counsel, and then a year later I was asked to become the deputy director. And so I accepted, not having any prior management experience. It was a learning curve, but I did eventually earn the respect of all of the individuals who worked there. And I think it was invaluable to have management because as a lawyer, there's a different way of thinking. You want to zealously represent your client. You want to make sure that, it's there's black letter law and you're following it to a T. And then when you're in management, you have to have a social worker hat. So you can't just walk in there and say, this is what it is. You have to see how your staff is feeling that day. You have to have each individual, each person has their own way of communicating. You have to learn that and communicate with people. I learned the importance of a paper trail as a manager, and
exactly.
It was really great. So the beginning, I really didn't know how it was going. The first maybe 6 months, but I was sent to some management training and really learned my own style. And I realized that I like management. I do like people, and it was invaluable because I think lawyers tend to sometimes be so focused on their clients or the issues that they forget about the social aspect and understanding that people might be having a bad day. So let's talk about what's affecting them, and then maybe after you get over that, they can get back to work. So I was lucky to have the ability to have a law degree, but also gain management experience at the same time.
Well, your capacity to understand that and be open to it, certainly those skills that you've developed have played well in developing the projects that we're doing with the Albany County Bar Association even today. The capacity to bring people together is very significant. It's the only way things can get done. And we've had a very busy year in the Albany County Bar Association. And it's taken talented people like yourself to see these things through. These are major projects that we've undertaken in a variety of different ways, not only in the management of the county bar, but also in the activities that we get involved with. And you've been underneath some of those major activities, which required relationships with the community partners. And many different, when you think about it, it's not, you have to make 8 calls all the time on every issue to make sure everything is still moving in the right place. And that is a talent, and it's certainly appreciated by the Albany County Bar Association. But it's not only the Albany County Bar Association that appreciates what you're doing. I can tell you that the New York State Bar Association also appreciates what you're doing, and they've highlighted you in connection with some of the very important work that the State Bar does. I have the good fortune of serving as a delegate to the State Bar, and you have served as a delegate to the State Bar, but currently serve on a variety of committees with the State Bar. Why don't you tell us what you're doing in connection with the State Bar Association now?
Sure. I'm on 3 committees. One of them is the Committee on I'm on the committee on attorneys in public service. I often mix it up with a couple of other ones, but I'm also on the committee on legal education and admission to the bar, and I'm on the committee for court structure and operations. So I'll go back to the committee on attorneys in public service.
Sure.
That committee was the first one that I was involved in with the New York State Bar, and it was years ago when Rachel Kretzer, who is a city court judge, asked me to join, and it was great because I think as attorneys in public service, bar membership isn't always the number one focus. I think a lot of attorneys in public service feel like they have their position, they don't need to network, they don't need to get out there. But I really learned a lot. I was on the administrative law judge committee, and we rewrote some of the manuals, and I worked on the awards committee, which was exciting to look at all of the wonderful things that public sector attorneys are doing and then decide which one of them we were going to select to receive an award. So my involvement with that committee actually allowed me to focus on creating a similar committee for the county bar as co-chair of the committee on the attorneys in public service for Albany County Bar years later. But I'm also currently on the committee on legal education and admission to the bar, which is an exciting committee to be on, especially now looking at the climate of legal education. It's changing. Admissions are down across the country about 24%, and the number of jobs have gone down as well. So this committee is so relevant right now to what's happening in the legal community, and we have a couple of recommendations, a couple of reports that we've published, and one of them, there's two recommendations. One is to allow students to take the bar exam perhaps after the second year instead of the third, not a mandate but an option. And then also the other one is to focus on more skills-based learning for the third year, experiential learning, and getting out there and actually getting experience that allows someone who graduates and passes the bar exam to hit the ground running at a firm. So these are two different reports. They're online. If you go to the committee, New York State Bar Association, Committee on Legal Education and Admission to the Bar, you can link on and look at the reports. And it's very interesting to see all the work that we've done and how relevant it is right now with the economy. And then court structure and operations, we're continuously looking at what's happening in the courts, electronic discovery, just different things, and the budget. So it's just interesting to look at those things and decide what our initiative is going to be for this year.
Well, Christina, you and I are both graduates of Albany Law School. And I had the good fortune of serving with you on our National Alumni Association, and you were president. You served as our president and now serve on the board of trustees of Albany Law School. But you and I are both very much involved with the law school now. My oldest daughter graduated just a year or two ago, and we're very attached to the school. And we do recognize that law school applications are down nationally, like you said. Albany Law School is not exempt from the decrease in applications, and how law schools shape for the future, especially ours, which is an independent one, not necessarily affiliated with a university, wherein it's possible if there's some shortfalls, a larger university could come in and take care of the situation. Albany Law School is a standalone. And while one time we had a loose affiliation with Union University, it was in name only. And so it's a challenge for us to continue to enhance this symbol of community pride. I mean, Albany Law School being in the capital has generated more judges and more government officials, I think, than any other law school. It certainly has a long history and heritage in that way, and must continue. And it's a challenge for those on the boards to figure out how to make it relevant. We know part of it is that the job climate is not as robust as it has been. Doesn't mean it won't be in the future. And applications go down. It's expensive. All law schools are expensive. And with the likelihood of employment being diminished for a moment, students sometimes are reticent to do it. I also believe, though, that the ones that do go are passionate about being lawyers. and that won't deter them. We may end up with a more passionate base of lawyers because only the ones that want to be there so much. There were some when I was in college, people were saying, well, I don't know what I want to do, so I'll go to law school.
Right.
You're not going to see a lot of those anymore. So what you'll have is the ones that really want to be there. And how we can continue to enhance Albany Law School. I think that so many changes for the positive have occurred. Penny Andrews, Dean Andrews, has been a guest on Benchmark and has told us about the good work that she's shepherding down there, and with your help on the Board of Trustees as well. So it's a very dynamic situation in that way, and a very special institution.
Yes, I'm proud to have graduated from Albany Law School. I was honored to be selected to stay on as a trustee after being president of the Alumni Association. And currently I sit on an ad hoc committee, which also has faculty involved. And it's great to really have that conversation going on how can we make the law school a better place. I still think law degrees are very relevant. I know I wouldn't be where I am today without my law degree. Yeah. And I still encourage, like you said, people who want to be lawyers to go to law school. It might not be a fallback, but I know people in business who would probably benefit from having a law degree. So I think the way we think about the law is changing and what we do with a degree is changing. So I think looking at pathways to careers, looking at how does a law degree enhance my business? How does a law degree enhance this other degree that I have? And I think that's the way that we're looking at, marketing, the opportunities that a law degree brings, especially from Albany Law School, which is in the Capital Region, where the mecca of law and legislation takes place. I
agree, and I think it is relevant across the board. My second oldest, so my oldest is now an attorney. My second oldest, upon graduating from college, was a math major, and she was able to get a position working for a large national company in Boston, where she is today. But after a month, when she was working there, she contacted me on the phone one day and was asking about, whether she should go on to graduate school or law school. And of course, I said, I think it's important in your corporate life that you continue, especially during your 20s, to actually get an advanced degree. And, they start getting a paycheck and they think, well, this is comfortable. And I said, honey, go on your company's website and tell me who the chairman of the board is. And so she's on the other line, and there it is. And it was a female chairman of the board of her company. And I said, are there any letters after her name? And she said, yeah, it says JD. I said, have a good day. Yep.
That's great advice.
I think it's important, though, and certainly having a degree from Albany Law School is a very powerful tool for whatever you wish to do. And we're lucky that you're on the Board of Trustees there and serving that way. All of these issues are very important to our community, the county bar and the Albany Law School, and enhancing the practice of law. And I believe, too, as you believe, that lawyers are a very important part. They're good neighbors, they're good parents, and they're community leaders. And all of those, and you are just proof of that here to your friends here in the town of Colonie. So we're very lucky to have you here today. I'm so happy you've come home. While you currently don't live in Colonie, we claim you as part of our town of Colonie and the fabric of this town. And I recognize your position in the fabric of the practice of law here in the Capital Region in the state of New York. We all wish you very well as you continue to establish so many great things for the practitioners here in and around. And of course, I look forward to continuing to serve with you in the county bar. I think my days are numbered. I think my one-year presidency ends in January, and then I think they call you immediate past president, and then nobody knows you anymore.
That's not true.
But it's okay.
That's not true.
But it's structured that way, and it's nice. Everybody has an opportunity to serve in a capacity, and we're lucky that it won't be long that you serve in that same capacity as well.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, we're thrilled here, and we look forward to when you return. Thank you very much, Christina, for joining us today.
Thank you.
I'm Colonie Town Judge Peter Crummey, and thank you for joining me on Benchmark.